This almost turned into an ASMR podcast with your apple.
What are we talking about today?
We got some questions about the MOOV. So, of course, it's a hot topic, so we're going to keep talking about the MOOV because everybody wants to know. And now we've had, I don't know how many deliveries of MOOVs. You probably know the number. A few. We've gotten quite a few, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know for sure north of 20 deliveries. Built more than that, but...
Yeah.
Deliveries, I gotta think we're above 20 at this point. I get it confused because, like, right now we have, I think, like, 14 in motion in production. So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot.
Yeah.
So we've definitely made progress, probably since the last time we talked about it in an episode. There have probably been a lot of changes and a lot of new things that have come up. Mm. So this fly is really a lot.
It's okay. His name's Fred.
Okay, great. Well, you invited him, so I guess we can leave him. So
he hangs out with the ferrets.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's probably because you came from the gym that he's like, hey.
I'm not wearing the same shirt.
Oh, that's good.
I guess I did take my shoes off. So
yeah. Well, I can't smell you yet, so hopefully
we'll see.
Don't. So first off, somebody had asked like what inspired the creation of the MOOV and like why we decided to build something that was pretty vastly different from the live and the do.
Okay.
So
who is this person and have they watched all the podcasts?
Probably not. I don't know. And I didn't write down names for that exact reason.
Yeah, because if you go back in a few episodes, you would go back. So I'll do the what's it, Cliff Notes? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So we've done a video on the trail project. So that's where it really originated. Originated with us partnering with Ford on building the first transit trail. We built the full interior out. That was a cargo. So we knew we had to tackle something that we'd never tackled before, which was a cargo. And so it originated from that point, knowing we've always missed that market. We've always missed the cargo market. Now, at the end of the day, me, Kaylee Teamy, National Sales Manager, Nick Eisenbarth, who's our lead engineer, like, we had actually, it was in our manager's meeting, and we kind of had a knockdown drag out about, like, the whole passenger versus cargo thing, even just yesterday, about, the cargo versus the passenger. What really is the difference so that people can see it, because the passenger always gives more options. So we're in this threshold, but, it goes back to Ford kind of helped us force our hand to build a cargo. It's so... the MOOV is so drastically different than dramatically. You got combining some words there.
Make a new word.
Yeah, it's my word. But it's so different because the live and do's they use every piece of the factory plastic, factory trim. We are simply just complementing. We're not replacing. We're just complementing. The MOOV brings a whole new level to the playing field because we're creating our own walls, our own ceilings, but then we're integrating all of our stuff very cleanly into those things. So built-in overhead storage where, factory air and airbags go. And so, but to boil it back down to the simple matter, watch a couple of those episodes and like that really helps kind of dive it in. But it really starts with Ford. It starts with Ford, our partnership with them, and the first trail known as cargo. Also, that drove us into... We'd built a few command vehicles prior off passenger chassis. We'd built some Salvation Army vehicles for support, which were do models. They were very expressed upon do models. And having gone through that, through the different notions, we realized if we're going to take this opportunity to build the trail as a cargo, we know we have this commercial business. We've already have it. It's already here. We just need to execute on it. Yeah. And... that needs to go the cargo route because of that space. Well, fast forward to basically last summer, a year ago now, we realized we can make it all one. So what's interesting through why, like how it ended up being so dramatically different, but now it's almost come full circle because now we have a MOOV model.
Yeah.
Singular. It is a MOOV model. And you have the passenger side of things and you have the cargo side of things. But when it comes to the actual build out, they're the same. I mean, they really are. And that's what the current argument is for efficiency, you know, getting vans in people's hands faster, price point, just all those factors.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's simplify this thing down. But it's an ongoing topic. So it just boils down to, we built the MOOV 100% from scratch, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the Live and Do's, they had a really good running start with finishes from Ford.
Yeah.
So
I think part of the question kind of comes from, now we're offering like basically every component that was like solely for the Live and the Do now in the MOOV. So, you know, obviously if it's a cargo, there's a big difference there and people can kind of see that a little bit easier. But for like, say the Live model specifically, like getting the hydraulic bed in your MOOV passenger versus getting the regular Live on a passenger, like what's the difference? You know, and people have asked. So that's like one of those kind of leading into, you know, why the MOOV is different and why we built it, and then getting into those like specifics, which that could very well have been the source of why you had that meeting and why you guys were talking about it. It's because people are asking, you know, if everything is available like in every avenue like that, every model and every chassis, then why would I go with one over the other?
Yeah. What's becoming the reality, and it has been, but it's really kind of becoming just the true matter of fact, is it really boils down to, from all essence of the term, I mean, price. It's the MOOV, you see more, you see paneling, you see higher end finishes, more labor. There's more of us in the build. The Live and the Do's are really trying to keep that budget friendly piece there as much as possible, utilizing Ford, and just only complementing. You know, we do so much replacing in the MOOV. I mean, just think of like overhead storage. To build that in, it's just a lot of extra man hours. It's a lot of time. It's material. It's design.
Yeah.
I mean, the differentiating factor, honestly, at the end of the day, really starts to drive home just price point difference. Are you willing to pay for the nicer finishes? Are you willing to pay for the functionality of things? I say functionality, but we're modular, and that is our functionality, but also built-in storage overhead in current spaces where you can't put anything in the Live and Do's. There is function to that as well.
Yeah.
So
just a slightly different kind of function.
It is. There are other key components to the different builds that you're paying for. I mean,
yeah.
The Live and the Do's have the same level of lift kits we can do, suspension we can do, wheels, tires, roof rack setups. All that's the same functionality. Where what you start to pay for is the convenience of the things that we can never do with the Live and the Do.
Yeah.
Inside shower, built-in overhead storage, cabinet doors, nicer countertop finishes. We didn't just build a different product. We also brought in with it, it's like, well, we need to execute on everything that everyone's asked for.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reasoning why we didn't ever offer those things in the past was a couple of things. You know, one was just manpower, ability of design, to execute on these different things. But honestly, full circle, one of the biggest facets of what it's done for us is, I mean, simplicity. Lives and Do's are simple. And I don't want to say that as a bad way, because they have a ton of functionality to them. But you don't have to worry about gray water underneath the vehicle. You don't have to worry about built-in water storage. Like, you don't have to worry about all these things.
Yeah.
But knowing with the MOOV, we also integrated them in a way that still allows the same level of functionality. So the water system in the MOOV is built in, but it's actually still 100% removable.
Yeah.
So it's a pod. You know, it's a pod.
Yeah.
The Lives, it's in the side box. You have to disassemble stuff to get it out.
Yeah.
Well, now in all MOOVs, you basically pull 2 bolts and you can just slide the whole system out, and everything's a quick disconnect. But the water lines are actually in the floor,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to worry about them on top of your floor. So
Yeah.
it's like we integrated some stuff further, but also maximized functionality with other.
Yeah.
So you know, but again, that comes back to they're more intricate builds.
Yeah.
There's more to them. But we also added along with that, we know that people are paying more for them. So we increase the functionality of them. You know,
Yeah.
we brought online another level of power system. We brought online all your flooring can pop out and be washed and pop back in. Gray water. You don't have to have a gray tank anymore for your kitchen sink if you don't want. That just runs directly under the vehicle. It's all things like that. Yeah. Honestly, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
you're paying for convenience and simplicity and also, I mean, we've talked about this a few times. I don't know if we've mentioned it on the series, but having something that is available at the lower price point is important, you know, to maintain that. Because obviously we've always heard, at least I've always heard in my time here, that like pricing of our builds versus some others is like, oh wow, that's great. Like that's significantly less than I thought it was going to be, you know. So that's something that has been important. You know, I don't know if you have much to share on that as of right now, like movement that we've made to like really maintaining that, you know, 100,000 around that, you know, mark to make sure that it's still affordable for everybody. Cause that's something that we really want to keep, is that van life is for everybody. So,
with new, because of COVID, inflation, everything, it has become extremely difficult to be new around that price. And it's to the point of impossible now. I mean, a chassis now starts in the 70s. So it's really hard to be at that price point new. But we are working towards, you know, just different ways to keep new pricing down close to that number. But the days of a brand new build being under 100,000 is extremely tough. Having said that, but that's, you know, that's why we have used, pre-owned, you know, certified. Like that's why that's why a lot of reasons why we do what we do with trades and things like that, because it also gives our people who are looking, who really want to join the family, we want them to be able to join the family the way, in essence, the way we want them to join, you know. What I mean by that term is we want them to join the family to have full support, full backing, and all those things. So when you buy from us, you're getting a warranty with that certified pre-owned. You're getting our team. You're paying a premium versus marketplace and things like that, 100%. But whenever we do it that way, you know, it's a huge benefit to kind of all parties, I think. But the biggest one to strike on is it allows us to still offer a price point. Like I priced a unit for one of the salespeople yesterday, you know, and it priced out at like 94,000, I think, and it's a really good van. You know, does it have every bell and whistle of the brand new units? No, but is it an amazing starter unit? Is it an amazing first unit? Is it an amazing unit for the people who want simple? Absolutely. You know, so our ability of still having that very broad price range only gets opened further as, you know, we work through, you know, people wanting those different things. So, you know, what I tell anybody watching, listening, I mean, there's a buy video, or there's a how to purchase video on our website. We can throw the link in this, but it's basically give us the opportunity. That's what it kind of boils down to, because to your point, price range on the new MOOV, the lives, the do's, all the new side, yes, things have gotten more expensive, 100%. But have we been able to keep the doors open to really hit all prices? 100%. So it's a matter of it's us getting back to the basics. Okay, are you willing to take this dent for an extra 2,000 off? Are you willing to take this?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Exactly, and that's you know where what we've been really working hard on for the last month or two is just like, hey, if we have a person, let's find out what they're willing to handle and what they're willing to deal with, because before you know it, we could save 10 grand with this customer.
And most of the time, it's not something that noticeable.
Exactly. And look, we can make it perfect again, but you're just going to turn around and hopefully you go travel with it, take it down dirt roads, take it down tree roads.
Hopefully you dent it more, Jared says.
Basically, hopefully
get your use out of it.
Yes, hopefully you use it. So, you know, and it's just a matter of we want to limit how much we have to put into these units. If you're willing to accept it, we're going to make sure our system checks out. We're going to make sure everything's good on that side. when you get to the chassis side, that's where like, boy, we can really hit some budgets.
Yeah.
If a person's willing to work with us.
Yeah.
And that's all we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a level of transparency that like a lot of places don't have. That's something that, you know, it's just kind of assumed, like make it as perfect as possible and dump a bunch of money into it, you know, and it's not like it's in vain or anything, but, you know, they think, well, even if it is like a used unit of whatever it is that this company's selling, they want to make it as perfect as possible, which is like great to want, you know, what's best for your customer, but that's just like such an easy, simple thing. Like I said, you probably wouldn't even notice most of the time that there's like a small dent or a scratch or something on it, or like, you know, you might see it when they're pointing at it, but you know, if that gets you, just gets you in a van easier, like that's just makes such a big difference.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're still getting the backing of the team, like with or without the dent in the side.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting the team regardless.
Yeah.
You know, we're still backing the product no matter what. It's just a matter of, hey, if you're good with that, I'm good with that. And I can save you money and I can save me hassle.
Yeah.
We can make this all work.
Yeah.
You know, so save me, save you. We both win. We're good to go. And if we ain't got to go to a paint booth, ain't got to do these things, guess what? You get it faster too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true.
You know,
and it's not going to mess with the functionality. Like it still works.
Exactly.
Van's still going to drive with that little dent over there. So
yes, absolutely. So, no, I would say if anything, it's been Van Duit's goal, knowing the higher end price of our builds is going up. It's still keeping what we've always kind of been known for as a very broad price range.
Yeah.
And it's opening back open that, call it bottom end of the price range, that lower end of the price range, being able to say, hey, to get down here, we just need to work together.
Yeah.
You know, if your budget's endless,
I'm jealous.
Well, here you go. I mean, here's a 200 and I think we can build out somewhere in about the 240 ranges now. 240, 250 on the camper side. And so, I mean, we can really get up there. We can get pretty wild, and it's different options that really make it come together to that price point. But on the other end, if you're willing to work with us, I mean, you don't know what I have up my sleeve. I just got a van back in that's like, hey, everything checks out. It's great. Here's this, that, and the other. If you're willing to take it this way, by all means.
So like the guy who opens up his jacket with a bunch of watches, like, I got a couple more vans in the parking lot if you're interested.
It's not even that. It's, you know, I'm close with a lot of owners. I might have an owner that's saying, hey, I'm not necessarily, we don't use the van as much as we want. So if you had somebody who wanted to purchase something like what we have, let us know. I'm not saying it's consignment, but I'm saying that like there's just, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what I even tell my sales team. I can pull rabbits out of some weird hats.
That's why the opportunity thing is so true.
Not rabbits, ferrets.
Pull ferrets out.
Pull ferrets out. So actually, I don't pull them out of hats. I pull them out like my shirt and like so. But no, it's again, it goes back to the whole give us an opportunity.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a matter of, hey, you got a low budget, we can work with you.
Yeah,
you just never know what we have available, where we can start, where we finish. There's probably an option there somewhere.
Yeah.
So come in saying, hey, 15,000. Okay, all right.
Let's rewind a couple minutes where you said the starting price of chassis.
Yep.
Yeah, so, that's new, but still.
Yep. So, but I mean, you know, just never know. So just give us a chance. Maybe today doesn't work. Maybe tomorrow it does for you. Maybe today it doesn't work for you. Works for us. Maybe we'll work it out. Yeah. So. But yeah, no, it's
So with the MOOV specifically, the MOOV model on cargo or passenger, what kind of like range of pricing based on like super built out, not super built out? In theory, if it was a used chassis, because I don't know if we have any currently because they're so new, but if that were the case, you know, just like so people have a good idea of like what that could look like if they really want the MOOV model, but that's like a problem is budget.
Right now, getting it's all new. We are currently working through potentially changing how we sell them, just in the sense of right now it's an a la carte menu, talking about going more package-based for efficiency. And look, at the end of the day, we can put customers pretty much in buckets once we get to know them. We're going to know kind of better than they will and what they really should get. Yeah. And that's usually what ends up happening anyway. Yeah. And so but as far as the price range goes, I mean, it's so hard to say, Haley, but I mean, you're probably in the 150s. And you can crack easily above the 200 mark. So, I mean, it's still broad. You're still I mean, in the context of the build and what it competes with, we're below the 200 mark, and what it competes with is above.
Yeah.
So, with the move. So, but
okay.
I think we are at time, though.
Oh, probably.
I think
we're
about
probably
8 minutes
over.
ago, Austin said 5 minutes.
8 minutes?
No, you're at 2010.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
look at that.
Nailed it.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, cool.
Sweet. Awesome. Let's link some stuff. Let's link that by video.
Stuff.
And then what am I supposed to say? You're supposed to say
like,
subscribe, comment below.
Hit the bell so that you get post notifications when we post. I think that's still a thing.
Yep. Everybody press it. Besides the dislike, don't do that one.
Fully executed.
Push all the buttons
Thumbs
except
up.
for the dislike button.
Hit the thumbs up. So awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.